Good afternoon, folks. How are we all doing? So, just wanted to come on really, just to kind of say that I went on live on air on the radio yesterday here in the UK on the BBC, BBC Radio York. I went live on air to talk about my podcast, the Speak Up Podcast, which is, for those that don't know, a mental health awareness podcast aimed at raising awareness around mental health and reducing those stigmas and addressing a lot of the societal issues in our society around mental health and the public perception, attitudes and things like that. So that's all this video was really, just to let you know that I've been on the radio. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to listen to that interview. I basically just told them a little bit about me, who I am, what the podcast is there for, and they played a segment of the podcast, which was episode 3 featuring Labyrinth Mind, speaking up about ADHD with Labyrinth Mind. So that's what they talked about on the radio last night. I went live on air, so it'll be the 1st of March as you're watching this. It was the 1st of March at 6:15 that I went live on air there. I'll include a link in the description below so you can watch that clip. It's around 22 minutes into the video with the chap called George. George was a lovely chap. He's the guy that interviewed me for the podcast. Hoping that it gains a bit of traction. Now it's been on the BBC radio. Really enjoyed it. If anyone else wants me to come on and interview me around, the podcast and talk about what it's all about, feel free to get in touch with me on my email. That's ashleyjohnmartin@yahoo.co.uk, or, which would be better, you could alternatively contact me on the speakuppodcast22@gmail.com. And we do have a Facebook page as well, which I'd love it if you could like, share, comment, subscribe. And the podcast itself is on Spotify at the moment, but I'm looking to expand it a little bit to other platforms so that everyone can listen to that. So folks, that was it really. I'll put a link in the comments below, in the description rather, if you want to listen to that BBC interview, BBC Radio York with George. I spoke on there last night live on air. Really good experience, guys. Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for everyone that supported me. We're only a sort of small podcast there, but we are gaining a bit of traction there. So hopefully we'll have more guest speakers on board. I've got some stuff in the pipeline ready to record already with somebody else to come on. So keep an eye on the podcast. Episode 4 is coming to you very soon, to a screen near you, guys. So that was everything really. Oh, one more thing actually. I'm developing a series, some sort of series for the podcast. So one of them will be called Putting the World to Rights, and we'll talk about societal issues around mental health, politics, government, and how that affects the current landscape around mental health. We'll talk about employment, employers, discrimination, stuff like that. I want to get like professionals on, so like lawyers and people like that, lawyers and HR representatives and stuff, to talk about current issues of the day around mental health and what they're seeing going on, what the trend is, that sort of thing. I also want to, there's another series that I've created, it's called TLC. So it's Tea, Love and Conversation. So it's a bit of a play on words for TLC there, but that'll feature your personal stories, anyone that wants to contact me. It's just a way of kind of categorising the episodes, and I'm sort of creating artwork around that and stuff, and sort of structuring it. So that's in the pipeline at the minute as we speak, working away on that, busy with that. So that's it, folks. If you want to get in touch about the podcast, again, email address is the speakuppodcast, all one word, @gmail.com. Sorry, it's the speakuppodcast22@gmail.com. I'll put that in the description below as well. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to our channels, across YouTube, Facebook, and also our Spotify there. And you guys take care. Have a lovely day.